Okay, so again, this is the 1.2a that we're on now, talking about very specific types of pay. Again, we already went over hourly and salary, which are the very common types of pay. Now here we're talking about royalties, which again, in this case, royalties are based off of something you created and you have rights to. I'm talking about commission as well, which is actually a bit more common based on sales, right? Let's look at number one. So Adriana wrote a textbook for high school students. She receives a 10% royalty based on the total sales of the book. So as we're reading this here, again, I recommend you annotate kind of as you read. 10% royalty, now it says based on. Want to think this through, even though this does not say of. Remember that a lot of times when we see a percentage, you may or may not see the word of attached to it. But even if we don't, immediately your mind should go, wait, that's a percentage. I need to know what it's of. Every single time you see a percentage, you want to ask yourself, what is it of? Because percents mean nothing unless we know what they are of. Now, it doesn't say of here, like I said, but it does say based on. That's the same thing. It means the same thing. So we are going to be taking 10% of the total sales of the book. So I like to jot some notes down so that I can kind of keep track what I need to be doing. So I need 10% of, why am I doing this? The total sales of the book. So let's go ahead and keep reading here. The book sells for $47.95 and 17,000 copies were sold last year. How much did Adriana receive in royalty payments for last year? So again, how much did she receive? She receives. A lot of times the questions will be phrased in a certain way so we can go, oh, it's telling me what I need to do. Something to keep in mind as we do these questions more and more is that it's not me telling you what to do. I'm helping you interpret the question. The question is really telling me what to do. I'm just kind of helping interpret. So we need to find this then. We need to find 10% of the total sales. Well, we have what one book costs, and we have a total number of copies. How can I find the total sales then? This is one book, but 17,000 were sold. What should I do to find the total sales? We should be multiplying those, right? Each book costs $47.95, and there are 17,000 copies sold. So the total sales, we'd multiply those together times 17,000. So we should get, this is the total sales, 815,150. So again, this is just the total sales. So whenever you're doing a problem, you always want to ask yourself too, have I finished? Did I find what I was supposed to find? And we have not. We need 10% of the total sales, and we just have the total sales. So I want you to go ahead, find 10% of this number. That's 815. And then we have our answer. Okay, so we should know how to do this. 10%, guys. It's a percent. We need it as a decimal. 10 divided by 100, doing your calculator, becomes 0.10 or 0.1. Of, what does of mean to? Multiply. If I am taking a percentage of something, guaranteed we're multiplying. And our total sales is this number here. Again, we're using those skills from our first unit. We translated this. 10% became 0.1. Of became multiply. Total sales is this number. So you can try checking your calculator if you need to, but really there's a trick to this. All that happens is that 0 is going to get cut off. So there's our answer. That is how much money she's going to receive from that she wrote that book in 1 year. Not too bad for writing one book. Maybe if she has more, she makes even more money. So I want you guys to go ahead and try this next one entirely on your own. There is a little thing different here. I hope you're able to interpret it yourselves. It really is telling you what to do. I'm just helping interpret, but I want you to try this one first. Okay, so it may have taken you a while to kind of dissect this. Xander writes math textbooks that sell for $80 each. He received a bonus of $12,500 for signing a contract and then gets 8% on each book sale. So right there, that's a lot. This bonus, hopefully you realize this, what that means is it's just getting added on. he gets 8% of all the book sales, as well as a bonus of $2,500. So hopefully you found the 8% of all the book sales first, and then just tacked on the 2,500. If not, fix that real quick, but I'm going to keep going. So again, this 2,500 is just going to get added to this 8% on each book sale. They could phrase that 8% of the total book sales. It means the same thing. We're going to do the same thing here. So we need 8% of the book sales. And again, to get these book sales, each were sold for 80, and there was 8,000 copies. So that's what you should have done first. 80 times 8,000. So we needed to do 8% of this number, which ends up being 6, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go back and kind of translate this down again. Once again, what does of mean to do, guys? Multiply always. Of means multiply. And then 8%. Hopefully you guys are getting faster with this bite now. Eventually, you may not need to divide by 100 because you see the trick. But this is 0.08. That is after dividing it by 100. So I have, this is 8% of the book sales. 0.08 times 6, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is 51,200. This is her royalty, but she also got a bonus. So we are going to add these together. So plus 2, 5. So our final answer, you should have gotten 5,3,700. So once again, with most of these questions, it's not me telling you what to do. It's you reading the question and listening to what it's telling you to do, trying to interpret it. I'm just helping you pick it apart, but what I am doing, you need to get used to doing yourself. I'm not telling you anything new, I'm just reading the problem and helping you interpret. Okay, so that's royalties. Again, royalties work that way, a percentage of each sale. If it were CDs or something like that, it'd be the same thing. Okay, let's talk about commission now. So the nice thing about this question is it's going to look very familiar. This type of situation happens a lot. We did it in our 1.1b lesson. So Allison sells cosmetics part-time from door to door. She is paid a monthly commission. She receives 11% of her first 900 in sales. I hope that sounds familiar. And 17% of the balance of her sales. This means the rest. If you want to make a little note there, we have first 900 in sales, and then we have the rest. Last month, she sold $12.50 worth of cosmetics. How much commission did she earn last month? So she earns this whole long sentence here. We need to interpret that and do our calculations. Once again, it literally tells you what to do. I'm just helping you interpret when you get a little confused. So hopefully you're looking at this and you're like, hey, this sounds like a situation where we should take our total. She sold 1,250 worth of cosmetics, but she does not get the same percentage of all of it, right? So we're going to do this. This is going to happen a lot. We're going to split this up into the two piles they say. So the company tells her, okay, so you sold 1,250, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to split that up. We're going to give you 11% of this pile of money, and we're going to give you 17% of this pile of money. She goes, thanks. So what's the first pile of money that I'm splitting this up into? Let's see if you recall this. What should be my first number right here? 900, because that's what it is. First 900. So she sold 1,250, but off of the first 900, she's getting 11% of that. So take a moment, find this number then. This is going to be the balance. If you guys didn't know what that means, balance just means what's left over. So if I take 1,250, my camera, I just realized it's like really far off screen. If I take 1,250 and I'd say, there goes 900, what's the rest? What's left over? Well, we should subtract them, right? That's all of those words, the rest, leftover, those are all subtraction type questions. So if we subtract these two numbers, That means the other pile is $350. So again, they said, thank you so much for selling this much worth of money, or cosmetics, I guess. We're going to split that money into 2 piles. We're going to give you a chunk of this pile and a chunk of this pile. There you go. So these are the 2 numbers that we take our 2 percentages of. We're going to use both percentages. So it's 11% of 900. So you need to find 11% of 900 and then 17% of 350. So take a moment. You need to know how to do that. Of means to multiply. Get your percent as a decimal. You're going to end up with 2 numbers. Go ahead and try it. Okay, so again, we should have done 11 divided by 100 to get this as a decimal, 0.11. Of means to multiply times 900, that's it. 11% of 900, 0.11 times 900. So you should have gotten $99. So from that pile of money, she is getting paid $99. Yes, she sold $900 worth of cosmetics. Therefore, she's getting $99 from that pile. And then over here, we're on the same thing. 0.17 is 17% of is multiply 350. So we get 59.50 here. And then again, they add them together and they go, here's your paycheck, plus 99 plus 59.50. So this is our final answer, 158.5. Anytime we do this split type thing, we always calculate them separately and add them back together at the end. And I'm sorry, because this is money, that's 50. That's a $. And there we go, that's your paycheck. So you're gonna try it again, keeping in mind that, again, we need to split it up into the first number they tell us and then the rest, find our percentages, add them together. Go ahead and try this next question. Let me make sure. Yep, this is gonna be done the exact same way. Go ahead and try it again. Okay, so what I'm focusing on is the total she sold. She sold 3,000, but she is paid differently based on the piles of money. So here's what you should have split it up into. The first number is still 900. That was just a coincidence. And then the next number is the rest, the balance of her sales. You should have subtracted these 2 numbers, 3,000 minus 900. Here's the rest. That's the rest of her sales, the balance of her sales. Notice again that these 2 numbers add up to be 3,000. Then we have 2 numbers to take our 2 percentages of. So you should have done 10% of 900 and 15% of this number. Because again, this number is the balance of her sales, 15% of the rest, the balance of her sales. So I'm doing this kind of quickly, but I'm hoping we are getting used to this by now. Once again, 10 divided by 100, because it's a percent, 0.1 is what that becomes. Of is multiply, 900, boom, there you go. 15 divided by 100 gives us 0.15. Of means multiply, 2,100. So we should have gotten 90 here. And I can do that, but I'm too lazy. Times 315. So they go, thank you so much for selling all this furniture. We're going to give you $90 from this pile of money that you sold. We're going to give you $315 from the rest. Here is your paycheck. Let's add them together. We should get 405. And there we go. I believe that's actually the last question. Yep. So the questions in the homework are going to work exactly like this. Really try, guys, to dissect them yourself. It's not me telling you what to do. The problems, the vast majority of the time, tell you what to do, even if I didn't teach you anything at all, even if I didn't go over these problems. You should hopefully eventually get to a point where you can read a problem and go, okay, what is this problem telling me to do? Regardless of what I know about commission. Even if you knew nothing about commission is, it tells you what to do. We are just interpreters. So let me know if you have any questions. Again, as always, I can help you on your assignment. If you want to check, say, hey, Ms. Holberg, did I get this one right? Before you click submit, you totally can.